Welcome back to Wild Space, everybody. Today we are talking about Vegas. Vegas, baby, Vegas. If you haven't seen Swingers, great movie. Go check it out. I know it's a little bit far away, but Galactics in July means that you want to be thinking about booking hotels probably 3 or 4 months out. Once you kind of get under that 3 month mark, then the prices really start to go up. Our group that's going, we booked our accommodations 2 weeks ago, I think, and even in the past week, I've seen a slight, not a large, but a slight increase in prices. So something you want to be thinking about. I thought since I did a bunch of research for our own group and options, I would just share that with everyone else looking to book a hotel for Galactics Season 1. So, one thing to kind of caveat is if you haven't been to Vegas before, they charge what are known as resort fees there. It's just another fee for them to take more money from you. I don't know what it does. It doesn't do anything. It's just a way to get more money. So when you are booking, you have to watch out to see if those are included or not. A lot of the websites, if you use like Trivago or Expedia or a lot of those ones, they'll show them in there and kind of include taxes, resort fees, everything, so you know the price you're getting. But for some of the kind of like the ones that look like they're cheaper, most of those ones are probably not including resort fees. So just be aware of that. Most of the time, if you book direct with the hotel, they'll be included in there. There are exceptions though, so just be aware. All right, so a couple things to know. There are only so many locations that are within a really good walking distance of the venue. So there are options for getting up and down the strip and around the area other than Uber. You can Uber if you want. It's easy, it's convenient, but it's not the cheapest. So one of the ways is the Deuce Bus, they call it. It runs up and down the strip 24 hours a day pretty much. I think after 2 or 3 a.m. it's less frequent, but most of the time there's a bus coming by a stop every 10 minutes or so. It's $4 a ride, or if you pay $20, you can get a 3-day pass. If you're there for 5 days, you might need to pay up to $50 to ride it as much as you want for the time you're there. But the nice thing about the Venetian is it's the kind of the midpoint of the strip. So even if you stay at the very north end or at the very south end, it's not like the longest ride to get down. If you are coming from the south heading north, then you can stop at the Venetian. There's a stop. And if you're coming south, you can get off at the Treasure Island stop, which is just across the strip, and you go over the walkway. One thing to note is that once you get to the Venetian on the strip side, it's still about a 10-minute walk, maybe 5 minutes if you're really moving, through the hotel, through the casino, through the hotel, to the expo, and then down to the convention floor. So anytime I'm talking about traveling and getting there, 99% of the time I'm talking about getting you to the Venetian, and then expect another 5 to 10 minute walk to get through the casino and actually to the hall where you'll be playing cards. The other thing, if you are landing in the airport and you don't want to pay for an Uber, you can ride the transit there. So the Deuce Bus will get you up the strip, but to kind of get to where that picks up from the airport, you can ride the 109 bus. So it'll take you a couple bucks to the South Strip transit station, and then you can get on the Deuce Bus from there and head to any of the on-strip hotels. The other option is the monorail. This runs on the east side of the strip, so it's good for any hotels over there. There are fewer stops, but it's really quick. So the closest stop to the Venetian is the Harrah's or the Link hotel stop. And then from there, you can walk to the Venetian through a couple parking garages. I'm going to put a video in the description that kind of shows someone making that walk so you can see the shortcut. Otherwise, like to go out and around, it takes longer. So it's quicker to cut through the parking garages and get into the Venetian that way. Also in the description, I'll put where to buy these monorail passes and where to buy the bus passes. I think the bus requires an app. It's like a Vegas transport app. And then, yeah, the trains come every 5 to 10 minutes. And at the absolute longest, if you're at the northernmost monorail stop, it'll be about an 8-minute ride to get to the station that you need to be, because as we mentioned, it's kind of in the middle of the strip. And then from that stop, you're looking at about a 15 to 20-minute walk to get into the hall. So about 10 minutes to the Venetian and then another 10 into the hall. So a couple things about these breakdowns. All the prices are for a 4-night stay, Thursday to Monday. All the prices are in Canadian because I live in Canada. So just use them as a guide to kind of approximate, cheaper for more versus more expensive hotels. And then I just use Expedia for everything just to keep it consistent so that, there are different sites that, sometimes you can get a little bit of a deal or not, but this keeps it consistent. I got these prices. I just checked and looked at updating them. So it's the 3rd week of March when I recorded this. So you can kind of see, depending on when you watch the video, how the prices have fluctuated or moved. I'll try to give you a couple pros and cons for different hotels, but just keep in mind, I have not stayed at all these places. So I was just doing a little bit of research based on, if we wanted to stay there or not. And I also am assuming, since you're going to be at Worlds, you're there to play Star Wars. So I didn't look into how nice the pool was or whether the casino was good, because I assumed that if you're going there, you're going like me to be in the convention hall all day and you're pretty much just crashing and sleeping in your room. So some of them might have, nicer pools or casinos to factor in, but I didn't really look into that. There's always options to get what they call a run of the house or room on arrival room. Those are usually cheaper, but they won't guarantee you beds. So if you have a group of 4 and you book a room that's like run of the house, you might show up and it might be a king bed and they might say, well, you're out of luck. So I wouldn't use those options unless there's only 2 of you traveling. Then, you can take that as it will. And then for larger groups, you can also check Airbnb or VRBO around the Paradise or airport area. There's also lots of good options there. It'll mean you'll be Ubering to the venue, but that's sometimes not that bad considering the savings you can have for a larger group. All right, we are going to start with the big one. It's the Venetian. It is the host of the event. All the action is happening at the Venetian Expo. So obviously, if you can afford to stay on site, that's a great option. I was fortunate enough last year to be able to be with some people who had a room at the Venetian, and being able to get up and down from the venue in like 10 minutes to my room was fantastic. Could go grab a snack. I could just go relax if I had time in between rounds or anything like that. The FFG rate is actually quite good. If you are booking your Galactic's tickets online, or even if you have already, you can go back and update your registration and add a hotel room through there. You're going to save about $1,000 to book through the FFG website versus online or through the Venetian itself. There's a couple different rooms, but probably for a bigger group, the best one is the 2 queen room. It has your 2 queen beds, plus it also has like a sitting area, a lounge with like a pull-out couch that pulls into a sofa bed. So you could fit up to 6 people in that room if you can get 2 people on a sofa bed, or there's room enough in that sitting area to put down an air mattress too. So you could get a person on an air mattress there if that's something you're bringing along. So yeah, if you can afford to stay at the Venetian, I highly recommend it. If that price tag scares you off a little bit, fear not. We have lots of other options we will get into here. All right, we're going to start with some budget options here. The map is zoomed out to kind of show these locations all relative to each other. So you can see here, if you follow my mouse, the Venetian Expo is right there in the middle. That's where the Venetian is. And then this line up here is kind of the strip proper. And I guess the Strat was the last one that I looked up. So that one is marked on the map. When I tried to mark them all, it was just a little too cluttered. So you can see the Strat up here. It's on the north end of the strip, so you will need to take the Deuce bus down. These are approximations based on the last time I traveled. It took like about 45 minutes to get from the top of the strip up here all the way down to the one on the bottom. Depending on the time, it could take longer. It could take like an hour and a half. But I would say generally, you're probably looking at like 10 to 20 minutes to get from here to here. Especially if you're traveling there earlier in the morning when less people are out and about in Vegas, then it should be a little bit quicker. So these ones, it was $500 for the 4 nights. You got 2 queens or a king, so good for up to 4 people. And it's just a little bit newer of a hotel than some of the other budget options, which includes Circus, which is kind of part way up the strip. I think it's like kind of in this area here. It's $450, 2 queens. It's about maybe half the distance on the Deuce bus, so 5 to 15 minutes maybe. It's an older hotel, a little bit run down. I've stayed there before. It was fine for sleeping in. It was wasn't dirty or anything, but you could tell the carpets had been in there for ages. So it's a little bit more family friendly of an option. And then the other kind of budget option is the Oyo, which is south, kind of near the MGM Grand, right near where the street is here. And then there is a monorail station by the MGM Grand. So you're just going to walk across the road, hop on the monorail, take the monorail up to Harrah's here, and then walk to the Venetian through the expo there. So similar price, $450. This was for doubles, so you could also get queens, especially you might want those if it's going to be 4 people to a bed, but it was a little bit more. Also, this is one of the ones where if you look at the website, it looks like, booking through the website is super cheap, but they don't have the resort fees in there. So just be aware of that. And then the last budget option is kind of specifically for Canadians. These, in order to try and get more tourism, there's a couple hotels at the very north end of the strip. So that's way up here in the old strip area where it says Las Vegas. That's the Fremont Street area, or Fremont Street area. They are offering Canadian dollars at par. So you can book through their website directly for about $440 or $490 American, and then if you show up at the hotel to pay, you can pay in Canadian. So that price for the Golden Gate is just a single queen, but at the D hotel, and they're both way up here, you can get a double queen. So you do have to hop on the Deuce bus, which is running along this street here. So you just walk through Fremont Street to where you catch the bus, and then you take it down. So that might be an option as well. All right, and then we've got some mid-range options. It depends what you want out of your hotel, but if you're looking to be within walking distance, then these 3 are the 3 that you're going to be looking at. Harrah's is just south here, and then the Link is just a minute past that, so they're both right near where this monorail station is. And then just on the other side of the strip is Treasure Island, and you can just take the walking bridge over top of the strip. So all of them are like a 5 to 10 minute walk, depending on how fast you walk, to get to the Venetian. And then remember, from there, once you're in the Venetian, it's another 5 to 10 minutes to get to the expo. So Harrah's is the oldest. It's probably the least nice of the bunch. Link's a little bit newer. Treasure Island, it's old, but it's well kept. So all of those are good options if you want to be within walking distance. Sahara is one if you're looking to save a little bit but still want a hotel that's like pretty nice. It is located over here somewhere. a little bit south of the West Gate, and it's on this. Excuse me. It's on this monorail line. I can't remember if it goes this way and up or if it goes this way and up, but it's on the monorail. So it has a stop right out front of the hotel. You hop on, take the monorail down to the Harris station, and then walk to the Venetian. So another selling point for this one is that it had a Walgreens that is somewhere over here in this vicinity. So if you want to cook some of your own meals or get stuff for breakfast, that's nice. You don't have to take an Uber to go get groceries. You can just walk there. So yeah, probably similar, a comparable hotel to like Treasure Island, a little bit older but refurbished. But you can save a little bit just by taking the monorail. And then lastly, the Horseshoe is just kind of south of this monorail station. I believe it's just between the MGM and Jerez, so like somewhere in here. And it is across the street. Yeah, this big blue mark in here is the Bellagio Fountains, so it's across the street from there. So you can board the monorail and hop up to this station and then walk. You could probably also just walk as well if you wanted to avoid the cost of the monorail. It'd be a little bit more expensive to take the monorail, I guess, than walk. So if you're fine with walking, that's good. If the Bellagio Gardens and Fountain is something you want to see, which is it's pretty cool. I would recommend seeing it if you're in Vegas and you haven't been before. Then maybe this is a good option because it's just a short little walk to get over to that. Whereas if you're staying up closer to the Venetian, then it's like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes to get down there. All right, for larger groups, one of the best options is the Hilton Grand Vacations Flamingo Club. So Flamingo is also in this area here, around where the last one was. So it's, like a 15-20 minute walk up to the Venetian. But you're getting a suite, 2 kings, 2 sofa beds. So you can fit 6 people, maybe even 8 if you have some thinner guests with you that can double on a sofa bed. I don't know, if that's going to be viable or not, but for sure be comfortable, very comfortable for 6. So yeah, full kitchen, extra area. If you want some space, that might be an option. And then this is probably the closest all in all to the venue because the venue's on the back side. It's not on the strip side, and there is an entrance off this back street here. Note that when you go to pick up your badge, there's going to be 2 lines. There's going to be one line coming in the regular expo entrance and then one line coming in through the hotel entrance. But these properties are right here on this little street, and so it's just like a 5-minute walk to the expo through the rear entrance here. And so they have 2-bedroom suites, 2 kings and a sofa bed, so 5 people, maybe 6 if you want to squish a little bit. Again, full kitchen, full dining area, and a little bit cheaper than the other ones. So that might be a good option for your group. The Berkeley is another option. It is an Uber option. It's way down here in the south, so like even south of the airport and like a little bit off this map. So you're looking at like a 10 to 20 minute Uber to up there every time. However, it is going to be comfortable for like a group of 8 because you've got 2 kings and 2 queen sofa beds. I mean, maybe not super comfortable for the people on the queens, but it also has 2 bathrooms, which for big groups is a plus. So I know we looked at this one, and that was one of the better options for our group. And then the last one we'll talk about here is Hyatt Place. It is kind of southeast of the expo. I think it's like kind of over here where this kind of Museum of Art text is, not by the actual museum, but kind of over here somewhere. It's a little bit smaller. It just has double beds and some couches, but it's a short Uber. It's just like a little 5-minute Uber, and it does have free breakfast. So I think I don't know what it is. I'm guessing it's just like cereal and bananas and muffins and stuff like that, like a continental breakfast. Probably not hot food. And then the last thing, if you want to check out Airbnb or VRBO, this area down here, the Paradise area, has lots of places that'll accommodate larger groups. And we ended up picking up a VRBO down here that is quite nice. So be sure to check that out if you got a bigger group coming. Hopefully that helps you with your trip planning. And yeah, I would say you want to be trying getting that booked by, I don't know, end of April for sure. Once you get into that 3 month window, then prices will start climbing up. So good luck in your search, and we will see you at Vegas.